I once knew a person whose name was Sally Henderson. Her only goal in life is a country she should be living in. From Zambia to Scotland, she was moving around a lot then. Couldn't give a fuck about the lives that she had lost when she disappeared from the face of the earth. And she surfed all around the world looking for turf. Into the perfect life thought she would have if she left behind her friends and her family down. And above all else, you know what she left? Her beloved dog Jumble, his face was a mess. From the past it was Sally, she was beating him down to the ground. She wouldn't stop, like calm down, wow. Pow, could you do this to your dog? The one that we really all thought you loved, like wow. The thing that made Sally like this, her upbringing that forced her to just disengage with the world. She saw her friends as just inferior girls. She saw her parents as pawns in her game, where she's the queen. Got everything she wanted without saying please. Oh please, she needed to prove herself. Her newfound villainous friends that helped change her into the demon that she soon became. They wanted to see how far she could maim an animal.
I hate myself, honestly, I'm better off dead. I hate myself, honestly, I'm better off dead.
The gang told her she has to lead the life of a person whose body is filled full of strife. Cause Sally was pure before the big change. She loved her family and she loved her own name. She started crime of the first degree, robbing and stabbing everyone that she sees to gain the respect she wanted so dear. And that's when she knew the time was near. Her family and friends haven't heard from her in months. As far as they knew, she'd gone to the dogs, which she had. Now Henderson, she started dealing drugs. She was grinding up chemicals and grinding up bugs from the rugs. She was also stealing on the side from wherever place, well, she didn't mind. Back at home, her family were scared. Her friends were truly unprepared for the sight that they'd unfortunately see. The very next time they turned on the TV, it was brutal. You know, I don't really think she thought this all right through. She was going away from her morals. She was murdering people and putting them into the soil. She was boiled, she was cooked. She was vulnerable and mistook, but that didn't change the fact she was a cold-blooded killer who wanted to be at the top of the pillar. She wanted success and she wanted respect. She wanted a medal right around her neck. She wanted the world to fear her name. Like Voldemort, her name struck pain. She wasn't the same as the Sally you knew. Sally was evil and a part of the crew.
I hate myself, honestly, I'm better off dead. I hate myself, honestly, I'm better off dead.
The day, it had come. Sally was ready, she had a gun. She knew what she was told, what had to be done. To her it was fun, to the rest it was dumb. But that didn't matter, she knew what she wanted to do. Well, maybe she didn't want to, but respect it was due. So she knew the time it had finally come. She put her hand in her pocket and took out the gun. An aura fell over, she knew it was wrong. But at this point it's too late, too far gone. So her gang spotted someone to shoot. It wasn't a person, it didn't have 2 feet, it had 4. So Sally took the dog to the floor. She bagged it up, put it on her back and tied it up. Took it to the building. Sally and her gang of friends kept the dog in the bag but cut holes in 2 ends. She wanted to hear its cries. She wanted to see the life drain from its eyes. They took turns stabbing the bag and throwing it around like a hacky sack. Every time it was thrown, they heard a bark. As the sun went down, the night became dark. The time was coming close to an end, and that's when one of Sally's friends told her to take the dog right out of the bag. Thought about it. She wanted to see the last breath from the dog in the bag she was stabbing through. And Sally made her final decision. She grabbed both ends of the plastic bag. She opened it up just to see what's inside. Her gang was waiting around her. She wasn't the same as the time they found her. She was one. She was one of them. The As Sally opened the bag, she started to mumble. Her hands lost grip, she was starting to fumble. She dropped it onto the floor in a bundle. She was staring into the eyes of Jumble. She couldn't speak. Her hands were loose, her knees were weak. She just killed her best friend who couldn't speak. She wasn't prepared for this. She looked out to the sky and only saw blackness. She was doomed. But then an ambience filled the room. It was Bruce. He was watching over her the entire time. He stared into her soul, he had hate in his eyes.
I hate myself, honestly, I'm better off dead. I hate myself, honestly, I'm better off dead.
Sally wanted to fall. Her life was over, so she ended it all. Bruce sent her down, straight to hell. Her life ended, the opposite of well. You might be thinking, how I know this is true. Well, I was with Sally that day and stabbed Jumble too. Now Bruce watches over me every day, waiting for the moment where he will make me pay.